Sorry.
Raphael.
I mean, honestly.
We can do this.
Come on, Raphael. Keep it down.
We're back here with Vitamin 3 Houses, our Verdant Wind Assassins Only run. And yes, we're going to do support theater today, but I just realized that I did not speak to these two when we were at the monastery. Silly me. I realized it in editing. So we're going to go do that, and then I'll reload the other file that actually is where we actually are, and we'll go do the supports. Hi, you two.
Please keep quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Rhea is sleeping right now. She does not appear to be very well.
I just wanted to warn you. There's a demon ghost bandit on the way. Is that cool?
I beg of you, please do everything you can to prevent an assault from Nemesis.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting at. It's Edith?
Before the monastery was completed, there was a massive battle on the Tailteen Plains. In that battle, the warrior Seros defeated the fell king Nemesis and reclaimed the bones and heart of Sothis.
Oh, you mean Rhea! You mean Rhea.
Those make up the divine sword that you wield and the crest that you bear. Now, Rhea, Seros, lies helpless. The only one who can defeat this so-called King of Liberation is the inheritor of divine power.
Well, and Claude, he'll have a good crack at it.
You have our full and unwavering support. Only you can do this. Please, save this world.
It's a lot of pressure. I'll try. Okay, back to the one that actually is what we were actually doing, which is actually supports gotta turn off that system sound. It's gonna probably be like a bit longer than our typical support theaters, because I usually try to keep the support theaters a bit shorter than other episodes, just because it's a lot of just sitting there watching people talk in the best possible way. But since we're near the end, I want to keep this momentum going, and I'll probably just do all the rest of the supports that we have now in this final support theater episode, which will take, I'm gonna estimate 56 minutes. Got 86,000 gold. And by the way, I realized only too late that I should have been selling all this Agarthium, which I kept saying, and the Venom Stone really, but a little too late, I guess, but 92,000 gold, sweet. So let's get them system sounds off. I'm gonna turn the music up for no reason in particular, moving forward. And let's do these sports. Why not? We'll start with Hoppy and Manuela, it was. Oh, this is the funny one, isn't it? Oh no, never mind. The last one was the funny one.
Professor, a pleasure to see you.
Likewise. Are you praying?
I've never been very good at praying. I was here to confess my foolishness.
Funny, because his faith is a strength of yours.
Confess something to you too.
But I guess that's chiefly healing. No need to ask. Go ahead.
I realize what a burden I've been. On you, I mean.
How?
After every breakup, I neglect my work. And I know how that affects you.
Oh no, I wasn't doing my job either. It's cool.
I'm completely worthless as a woman. Can you imagine how that feels?
I don't think it's true.
I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I just know it. You think so too, don't you?
No.
Really? So if I couldn't find anybody else, you'd marry me?
Well, that would be sort of complex. I'll run it by Happy, but it doesn't sound like a good idea.
Oh, don't worry. I can tell by the look on your face you didn't mean it. What's wrong with me? It's not my looks. I'm still gorgeous. Or am I? Be honest, do I look old? No, not possible.
I wouldn't say so.
I'm the songstress who swept the Empire off its feet. Men professed their love for me hourly. It can't be my looks.
You're attractive.
I knew I was right. I'd be in real trouble if I weren't this beautiful. Oh no. If the problem isn't my looks, and they are not the problem, then it must
She
be...
looks like she's having a real crisis right now.
My personality?
Your personality's fine.
A girl can tell a lie when she hears one. You think there's a problem, don't you?
I'm starting to think there's a problem, but I don't think the problem is what you think.
I suppose I can be a bit unkempt.
No, that's not the
I do have a
issue.
short temper, and I may be a little lazy.
Okay, the short temper thing maybe.
Sometimes. But I've always heard fellas, you know, like a woman with a few flaws.
I can corroborate.
Seems to me there are plenty of flawed girls who have landed themselves a good man. So maybe my trouble is I'm not imperfect enough. Do you think I could use a few more flaws?
Oh, undoubtedly. You've only got one in, like, what, reason? No.
Are you saying I'm perfect as I am? Come now. You'll make me blush.
Let's go with that. All right. Always a pleasure, Manuela. Marianne and Linhart to A. What was this about before? Oh, right, the good luck and bad luck
There
thing.
you are, Marianne. I'd like a moment to talk.
Well, this is your last day before we go fight a demon bandit, so make the best of it.
Oh, Linhart. I was just on my way to pray.
All right. Afterwards.
Oh, very
It's
respectful
already
of you.
getting late, though. If you'll excuse me.
So then, you're done?
Linhart, were you here this entire time?
I was sleeping. Are you ready to talk now?
I suppose. My apologies for keeping you waiting.
I wasn't
She did say it was late.
As I said, I was sleeping. But I didn't want to disrupt your prayers.
I see.
So you just had an uncanny good luck and
What
when you
did
got up.
want to talk about?
The results of my research.
Your research?
I intended to look into the power of your crest from the first moment I met you. I've been feeling quite happy of late, and I can conclude that it is due to your crest.
He has had an atypical smile on his face like this whole time.
Are you sure? That's...
Or more likely, I feel good because I've recently taken a bit of exercise.
Exercise,
Oh.
how do you mean?
Although, keeping you from finding out I was researching you was plenty of exercise.
Well, you
on
meant
its
literal
own.
exercise before.
Listen, Marianne, I'll tell you one thing for certain. Your crest is not the source of anyone's bad luck. The research on your crest is lacking, but other crests have been studied quite a bit. I can find no proof that a crest can influence the lives of those who come in contact with its bearer.
Well, not in the way we're suggesting here, I
And
suppose.
frankly, transmitting bad luck via touch sounds like a crazy superstition. Don't you agree?
that may be true.
By the way, eating the vegetables you gave me caused no ill effects. They were as delicious as ever. It may be another story if I drank your blood. Ugh, now I'm nauseous.
How did that come from? Oh.
You're going to make us both sick.
All right, sorry. As I said, it is my scholarly opinion
I mean, I get
that your
crest
crest
is,
does
you
not
know,
cause bad
DNA.
luck.
Thank you
Passed
for your
down, but-
reassurance. It does make me feel a little better.
It's probably just that you and the people around you have had some bad days. It happens. I'm going to watch over you from now on, and if either of us has bad luck,
We'll quickly investigate the root cause to rule out your crest.
well, I'll look into whether it's just chance or if it's your crest. In fact, I'll dedicate my life to it.
Wow.
Your life? For me?
Especially for you, Marianne. Don't make me spell it out.
Aw. Thank you for not spelling it out, though, because this is just an A support. It's not a net support yet. We don't know who you'll end up with, so it would be really weird if you spelled it out and it turned out to not come to pass. Seneth and Hilda to A. Oh boy.
Hello, Hilda.
A lot of these are going to be like the second to last support, and we're not going to actually get resolution on them, which is going to be kind of funny.
Oh, Sedith, good day.
Is it?
Did I do something
Oh
wrong?
no.
Not to my knowledge. But I cannot help but notice that you no longer shy away when I speak to you.
You noticed that, huh? When you stare at me, I feel like you're peering into my soul.
And that no longer bothers you? Does that mean your conscience is finally clear?
Nah, I got used to it. I know you're not
Oh, no.
scary.
That's unfortunate. You really should do something to correct your lazy behavior.
Maybe that's true. I wouldn't want to be like the fox, forced to wander in the snow all winter.
I'm pleased to see you grasped the moral of the story.
Intense though it was.
Don't you think the squirrel was a little cold-hearted, though? He seems not to care about what happens to his friend, as long as he himself is happy.
Is that what you want the kids to grow up
That
like?
is a valid point. I have no wish to encourage that attitude in children. Perhaps if the fox only survives thanks to the squirrel kindly sharing some of his acorns.
You were going to make him die before?
How does that sound to you?
I like it okay. I'm sure the kids will admire that nice, compassionate squirrel.
Thank you for your insight. As it happens, I have some other stories that I wrote for Flame. Would you like to hear them?
You should make a book out of them. It's a shame that only Flane and I get to enjoy them.
Could have sworn he said that was a recent one for the children of the monastery.
What a fine idea! I will begin immediately, though I feel such a book requires illustrations, and I have no artistic talent. Would you lend me a hand?
I think Ignatz might be a better choice, but I can probably manage. Not like they need to be terribly fancy.
I could use some more of your wisdom with regard to the content of the stories also.
That sounds like a pain, but I'm invested in this now. Let's do it!
Excellent. That's wonderful to hear. Let us produce the very best book we can, for the children's sake.
He looks so excited. I can't help but lend a hand.
I don't know why, but instead of saying, for the children's sake, is like the most said thing I've ever heard. That's a pretty neat one, the way that, it very much feels like it's revving up in the B support for Seta to, like, have to go, oh, this is what the story's actually about, Hilda, in the A support, but in reality, she does offer him a point, the pretty valid point of, I get you're trying to put across a moral, like, it's so punitive and disturbing. It's not much of a teachable moment if the teachable character, the fox, dies alone in winter. Caspar and Catherine to be. They're gonna talk about Thunderbrand and how he views her as a hero
you look
again.
More troubled than usual.
Yeah.
Does he usually look troubled?
I've been thinking a lot about the last time we talked. I really admire your strength, and I want to be like you on the battlefield. But I don't agree with your idea of justice. If that's the case, is it bad for me to look up to you? I'm not sure how to feel anymore.
Seems like an unusual question to pose to her.
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
You'll need to find the answer on your own. I can offer one piece of advice, however.
Sure, anything will help.
When I told you I would cut down children with no hesitation, you looked disgusted. I take it that's the part you're struggling to accept?
Pretty much.
Well, it's a big part of it, yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to do it, even if that meant disobeying orders.
Well, what if the children had their own weapons? What if they were trying to kill you?
Well, maybe if it was in self-defense, but even that...
What if the children were killing each other? Let's say their families had been slaughtered and they sought revenge. How would you stop the killing? Who would you strike down?
I don't know. I'd have to see what's going on for myself, but even then,
When you witness these horrors in person, it's no easier to decide. In fact, the decision is harder. Choosing to end or spare a life, whether to save someone or abandon them. These choices are always difficult.
Having to choose between life and death.
You have a strong sense of justice. You have clearly defined ideals, but that's not an asset on the battlefield. Ideals slow you down. They cause inner conflict. Making decisions in the spur of the moment, you can't hope to be perfectly fair and just. That's why I choose to fight for Lady Rhea's justice. The justice of the Church of Seiros.
But what about when Lady Rhea's ideals don't really line up with yours? Then what?
Not possible. Lady Rhea's ideals are my ideals. There's no conflict between them, because that's what I've decided. Do you see?
I don't get it. You can't possibly agree on everything.
Crimson Flower, Catherine would like a word with you, Catherine.
I have faltered in the past.
That's what I'm talking about. How can you blindly trust some other person's sense of justice?
Not a person. The goddess. I cared about someone, and they were branded a criminal. That's when I started down this path. I didn't know whether to turn a blind eye or mete out punishment.
What did you do?
I couldn't decide, so I looked to the goddess for guidance. Since then, I have devoted myself completely to the goddess. I surrender myself wholly to her will. So think carefully, Caspar. To what will you devote your sword and your heart?
Wow, that was cool. I'm pretty sure I've not ever seen that one. Man, I want to see that whole sport chain, but I guess we won't get a chance this run. Perhaps on Silver Snow. That's so cool. So obviously she picks the extreme example of children, and then twists it a few different ways. What if the children were fighting you? What if the children were fighting each other? Who would you stop? And she ends off with that, that pretty powerful idea, ideals will get you killed on a battlefield. You can't make decisions in the spur moment and hope for them to be always the right ones. Which is true, but I think it rubs people like Caspar and I the wrong way. And that's kind of the point they're getting at in that support. It's just that sort of key difference between them. And so, ultimately, what it sort of plays into is Catherine telling Caspar, you know, don't idolize me just for being good at fighting on the battlefield, because that's something I do outside of morality. And what do you really want to idolize in the end? You know, me hitting people with a sword or someone with the right morality. I haven't seen the end of that support, but I'm gonna guess that it ends with Caspar going, what if I devote myself entirely to you and your ideals? And then just like you did with the Lady Rhea and the Goddess, and then I'll never be wrong. But man, that's a really interesting support. I really like the way that was written. Anyway, Cyril and Hilda to A. What's this gonna be like, I wonder?
Hi, Cyril.
Can't remember if I've seen it.
Huh?
Hilda,
Personally, I'm all worn out from carrying water and fodder for the horses. I'm going to rest here a sec.
Whoa, tired? Water? Horses? Are
Giving?
you saying you
With?
did work all by yourself?
What else was I supposed to do? You weren't here to help.
Okay, I get it. You did the work because you couldn't find nobody else to do it for you.
I was waiting for you. Because look,
A letter?
Holst wrote back about him.
I told you I'm always getting letters from my brother. I wrote about you in a couple of mine.
You're talking about me behind my back? Honestly, you're so...
We didn't say anything bad. In fact, well, listen up. Here's what my brother wrote. Be he Almiran or no, any young man with compassion and good conduct is worthy of respect. Character is what really matters, not the place of one's birth.
Hey, thanks, Holst. Certainly a weird way to
That's
start it, but
pretty nice.
it is pretty nice.
Especially since it was from a noble who battles Almirans.
My thoughts exactly.
Right? He's a funny one, but for the first time, I really respect him.
Ouch.
So thoughtful and tolerant.
That letter makes me happy. A lot of people look down on me just because I'm Almiran. So, you know, it's nice to hear somebody accept me as just another person.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I've accepted you from the start.
Wrong tone to take.
I mean, you're so helpful. You do everything I ask.
Nope. Nope.
That's not acceptance.
No.
That's relying on somebody else to do your work. What you ought to do is be a grown-up who your brother doesn't need to worry about so much.
I'm plenty grown up. I just brought food and water for the horses, all on my own.
After he told you to do it.
Being proud of doing what you're supposed to be doing just means you're lazy the rest of the time. Though, I gotta admit, being relied on is kinda nice.
In that case, from now on, I'll rely on you even more. Let's see. First, I need you to...
Well, time to get back to work.
Hey, hold up!
Sort of cute in a way. Sort of disturbing in another way when you consider that her house was holding Cyril and other people from Elmira as like literal actual servants. I think they were kind of making a joke about it there. I don't know, it leaves a slightly bad taste, but I think it was meant to be more cute and funny and not like cute and funny because Cyril himself is a hard worker and not a jab at him having been an actual like servant. I don't know, that was a little weird. But the specific personal relationship between them is nice. Marianne and Sylvain to see. Jeez.
Hello, Marianne. All done for the day?
Oh, Sylvain. Yes, I was just heading back to my quarters.
Well then, my timing couldn't be better. I was just heading into town and I thought maybe you'd like to join me?
I don't think I should.
I heard a story once about a beautiful maiden.
Just launching right into storytelling.
Day and night. She was held prisoner by her own fear of the outside world. Then a brave knight set the girl free and took her to town, where they drank tea and talked for hours. So, my fair maiden...
She's a knight too.
Please.
Like literally.
You should not waste your time on me. Besides, my adoptive father requested that I not stray too far from the monastery.
Margrave Edmund wants to keep you locked up, huh? I've heard he's... let's call it ambitious. Well, just tell him who I am. I think he'd approve. I'm heir to House Gautier, one of the most prominent families in the kingdom. I've got a crest, I've got money, and I'm stunningly handsome. What's that face for, Marianne? Was it the handsome thing? I can see how that might have been a bit much.
Can ya?
I don't really know you all that well, but I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me that you have a crest.
Oh, no. I didn't mean you should find my crest impressive. I meant your family would, and... You know what? Maybe I should start over.
If you're going into town, please just go without me.
Oh, okay. I've got to get going anyway. Places to be, you know. Well, this is me going. But remember, should you ever need me, I will forever be your knight, my maiden.
I wonder what he meant by that.
I say that after basically every conversation I have with him. I do like that chain. I kind of wish that one ended in A, actually, because it's very nice to see. That one feels a bit more important for Sylvain almost than for her. It's nice to see a chance. I don't know, maybe we did see that one in the Azure Moon playthrough, I can't remember. Nice to see a moment where he tries all this, you know, charlatanness, is there an adjective there? Behavior that's like, you know, the fanciful words and the flaunting of the status, which is not what he's actually really like, but he's like, this is what everyone wants. And to have someone just go, that doesn't actually interest me, and then he's like, oh, no, I wasn't It wasn't me. I was because I was saying that and like to have him sort of get caught in that and realize, man, maybe I should have actually just said what I meant. And there are people who will actually take me at my word and stuff. Is an interesting dynamic, and of course the B support of that is very meme-worthy and good. Shamir and Leone to A. Hopefully not been threatening anyone anymore.
Guess that's enough for now.
We've restricted our training to the training grounds and no further.
You're improving, Leone. No doubt a result of your new training routine.
Right, about that. I've been doing everything you said, but...
Still afraid of bugs?
Something wrong?
Not with my archery, but... I'm not getting any better at dealing with bugs. Even with all the practice, I just can't bring myself to look at a real live spider.
You're still aiming at the spiders I instructed you to draw? Let me see one.
Sure. Here.
What is this?
What do you mean, what is it? It's a spider!
Ah, yes. I see now. It's quite... well, it's...
What's so funny?
I'm sorry. I lost my composure for a moment there. Your drawing is absolutely ridiculous.
It's like the first time I've ever heard a laugh.
Ridiculous? That's what they look like, isn't it?
Do you know how many legs a spider has? Or what its body looks like? Or ever seen
Wrong
one at
is.
all?
I just told you I can't even look at the little monsters.
A lack of subtlety no doubt learned from your former mentor. Regardless, aiming at this target won't help you overcome your fears. Here, use one of my drawings instead. Consider it an apology for my outburst.
Oh,
Sorry for laughing. Here's a picture of a spider.
detailed.
This much detail is necessary if you wish to identify your enemy's weak points.
If you're shooting an arrow at a spider, I think everything's the weak point, really. Like, I can't imagine there are many spiders that could just tank an arrow, especially from like super strong hyper warriors such as yourselves.
Oh, it's too much. I can't stand the sight of it.
This is guaranteed to help overcome your fears and improve your archery in the process.
So, archery's secondary now, is it?
You want to be a peerless mercenary, right? You'll never accomplish that if you're afraid of something as innocuous as a bug.
When you put it that way, I guess I'll have to. Okay, Shamir, you've talked me into it. First, I'll take out the drawings, and then I'll move on to the real thing.
Does the monster really have a spider problem? You can just leave them alone.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing fewer spiders around here.
Apparently it does. Very good. The nice thing about that support chain is you get to see both of those characters very much out of their element, or at least acting unlike their social script, if you see what I mean. Like, they're very much not acting like themselves. For Leone to be afraid of anything, and in the B support where to have no regard for the safety of her peers. They're both very un-Leone-like behaviors stemming from a very Leone-like place. I still love what does she say in the B support? It's like, when he used to shoot an apple off your head, and then she's like, yeah, but only when he was drunk. And she's like, not a good habit to emulate. No. And of course, to see Shamir get to drop the veil and be like, yeah, I was scared too, and then laugh at her drawing and everything. You get to see them both act unlike themselves for a bit in very, very delightful ways. Hanneman and Marianne to be.
Professor Hanneman, you wanted to speak with me?
Miss Marianne, hello. Do pardon the mess. Please have a seat.
As you can see, it's all over the place.
I have been puzzling over why your father would
I love the way they
conceal your crest.
Do that, like where they duck down and then they just cut away to them standing up again, but they're like, no, they're sitting, trust me.
And I have arrived at a conclusion. Would you like to hear it?
No, I would rather not.
Ah, fair enough. Then I will keep it to myself. However, if my theory is correct, well, then it is only natural for you and your father to try keeping your crest a secret.
I mean, getting into it this much is basically like talking about it anyway.
I feel I would be remiss if I didn't point out that I consider this decision a most grievous error.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I think you are.
Crests never manifest in someone unfit to bear them.
Right, because no one's unfit to bear any genetics.
Which means, Miss Marianne, you have the ability to make the most of your crest, because it is, by definition, your crest.
I have no desire to make use of my crest.
But it can be of service to you, and I would venture to suggest, to the world at large.
Ever since I was born, that crest has been nothing but a burden to me. My parents, too.
Ah, that's right. I have heard that you were adopted. Did one of your birth parents also have that crest?
Yes. It was my father.
then that crest is evidence that you are your true father's daughter.
Right?
Concealing it, hiding that truth from the world, is denying your true parentage, is it not?
Isn't that her choice?
I don't...
I'm not suggesting you flaunt your crest. That would be highly unnecessary, possibly even dangerous. I simply wish you to accept who you are.
Oh, that's a little nicer.
Accept it?
Accept the crest and allow its power to come forward. Then it will open itself to you. Whatever the crest may be, whatever its origin or its nature, it can serve you. It is yours to command, however you wish.
Mine?
Nobody can decide how to use your crest, Miss Marianne. That choice is yours alone.
I will think about that.
That's a pretty cool one as well. I'm not sure I've seen that one yet. I like the way he was able to take it from being just about, I'm talking about that thing that's on your body that lets you do things, and turn it into a, I don't want you to have shame for yourself as a person because you have shame over this thing, so what if we eliminate your shame over this thing and teach you how to use it? And you won't be afraid of it, you won't be afraid of yourself, so on and so forth. A neat way for that to go. Alois and Catherine to A, finally.
Come on, just one, please. I'll pay for it next time.
No can do. Do you have any idea how much is on your tab? More than you're worth is my bet.
So you don't know either?
It's been a long day. I just need a little drink.
So long as my pocket stays empty, your glass stays empty. Don't cross me.
I couldn't help it over here. Hello, Emma. How much does she owe?
Oh, don't rack up your debts now. You just got rid of Gerald's.
Hi there, Alois. Are you asking because you intend to pay this lady's tab? I can't even begin to understand that level of that level of kindness.
Alois, what are you doing?
I'm in your debt, Catherine. You've saved me countless times. Besides, you warned me about those scams. You kept me from getting cheated out of my money. So I'll take care of this. How much does she owe?
Maybe we should have asked those said those two sentences in the inverse order.
Thanks, Alois. Are you sure you don't regret doing that?
Of course I don't. Think nothing of it. I used to pay old Gerald's tabs all the time. I'd have been happy to buy you a drink, you know.
Nah, that's generous of you, but I couldn't accept. You're a good guy, Alois, you know that?
He is.
Not only paying my tab, but offering to buy me a drink, too.
Gerald would have kept drinking. He was certainly shameless about it.
Did he ever pay you back for bailing him out?
I'd die before he could, the bastard.
Sometimes. Honestly, off the battlefield, he was disorganized about everything.
That sounds like him. And to be honest, well, sounds like you, too. You're probably not bothered when it comes to my debt, but I want you to know I'll pay it back.
I appreciate that, but there's no rush. I trust you. You're a colleague, a friend. And that's true whether or not you pay me back.
You're hopeless. But you know what, Alois? That's how I like you. Next time a con artist tries to bilk you, I'll be sure to save your backside.
Yay! That's exactly what I wanted from an A support of that. And don't cross me! No money, no drink! And it is nice. I mean, like, you know, that's the sort of thing, you get burned by that once in a while, but doesn't mean it's not worth doing, I guess. Ah, Caspar and Hilda to max support. I really like the way these two are going together.
Can I ask you something?
Go for this one.
Hey, Caspar. Sure, go ahead.
Well, you know that thing you do where you flirt with guys and get them to do stuff for you?
Can't imagine what you mean.
Why don't you ever do that with me?
Oh, you want me to take advantage of you, eh? I'm happy to oblige.
What? Phrasing, Hilda.
You're surprisingly sharp.
You know, Wait, surprisingly? What's that supposed to mean?
I didn't think there was much point in taking advantage of you. You're not one to do favors. So I just never bothered. It seems like less trouble to do things myself.
You really think I'm so heartless that I wouldn't be willing to help you out? I'd be happy to help, depending on what it is you need.
That's not my style, though. I don't ask people to do favors.
You wait for them to offer.
I prefer for them to notice what I want and offer to do it themselves. You're not attentive enough to notice.
You've asked a few times.
You do notice that I'm working my charms on others. How bizarre.
I guess that makes sense. Sorry I've been so oblivious to your needs. But why can't you just ask?
Well, when I ask someone for help, it's awkward for them to say no. So they go along with it, even if they don't want to.
So you think tricking them is better and, like, less awkward for them?
But when they offer to help, everyone feels better about themselves.
I guess that makes sense.
Sure, but if your plan is to guilt someone into offering their help, isn't that the same or worse?
Oh my dear.
I kind of can't tell.
Guilt isn't why they offer.
I think Caspar's right, though.
Neither here nor there. I don't want to feel like I'm constraining you. I like your carefree lifestyle.
I'm not sure I follow, but I like the way you live too. Not being tied down by anything or anyone sounds like a pretty easy life. I get that. If there's anything you really need help with, though, don't be afraid to ask me. Sometimes you can't afford to wait around for someone else to notice.
That's sweet, Caspar. Thanks. Well, since you're offering, why don't you come to my room? I thought of something you can do for me.
Your room? Are you redecorating? We're moving out?
Let's keep assuming it's one of those.
Huh? I don't know what to do with you, Caspar.
I don't follow.
I could use some help carrying luggage.
So you are moving out.
Is that it? That's no problem at all.
Very sweet indeed. I'm sure she was just moving out the whole time and didn't change her mind about what to say in the middle of that. I do like that one a lot. I like those two together quite a bit because they are very much that. They're both kind of on extreme ends of plenty of people thinking they live the wrong way. And you know, I mean, like Caspar usually gets into fights to protect people who can't protect themselves. And Hilda usually, you know, tricks people to do stuff that she really would rather not do, and never, like, forces anyone, you know? Like Caspar says, she kind of guilts people into it. Like, they're both doing kind of, like, questionable things, but like, it's not that bad. They're just living life in sort of weird ways, and so for them to both just kind of look at each other and be like, you know, I like you, I respect that, and I see myself in you, is just very sweet. Linhart and Catherine oh, no. Please.
Linhart.
Take the nice turn.
You'd endanger yourself to realize your dreams, but why go this far? You never seemed like the type to put this much effort into anything.
It's crazy how this whole chain has been taking place in the training grounds.
Honestly, I find most everything annoying, which is most likely why you have such an opinion of me.
That was brought back suddenly to, was it Oscar just saying Soren doesn't like anything?
But to continue my research without taking this chance to know the truth, what would be the point? Besides, ignorance can breed even greater dangers. For example, do you know for whom Thunderbrand was originally crafted?
The goddess.
Correct. And because of that, everyone just stops thinking about it. No one really knows what the relic is made of, how it was crafted, or what its very structure may be.
Yeah, well,
Until
about that.
we know those things and truly understand the power and the danger relics hold, we won't be able to gain any new knowledge. I'm tired of talking.
You tire too easily. But I think I understand your logic. Really want to risk your life? I won't stop you.
You're gonna give him Thunderbrand.
Just remember, Linhart, curiosity killed the...
I am not a cat. It will require more than my own curiosity to finish me off.
Sure about that.
You've got guts, I'll give you that. But don't blame me if something bad happens.
So you're gonna give it to him and
If something
let him have a go.
happens, it happens. Finding out the truth means accepting the risks.
I guess you're right
Those
about
who
that.
identified plants, both poisonous and medicinal, took the same risk in eating each. I'm just like those people.
Okay, fine. I give up. You win. I'll let you hold Thunderbrand just this once. Go on, give it a try.
He's gonna pick it up and be like, well, that was boring. I didn't know anything.
Don't worry about something bad happening. I'll be right here.
Oh, no, that's nice. Never mind. It ended on a nice note. Very sweet. And I could do with seeing how that goes on the A+ as well, but not for the moment, I suppose. Annette and Hilda to see.
Hilda, I'm coming in. Hey, Annette. Don't mind the mess.
Oh, wow. It really is messy. I'm not sure there's even enough room to breathe.
Ouch.
I haven't been tidying lately. I start to procrastinate when I'm busy.
Something about the demon bandit and all, you know. Keep a messy room. Sorry about it.
Hey, how about I clean up for you?
Really? That would be amazing. So are you good at cleaning?
I love it. Actually, the messier a room is, the more determined I get to conquer the crud.
Here she is, letting someone else off her.
Works for me. I'll leave you to it. Don't want to get in your way.
Great. See you later.
And that's so sweet.
Annette?
Oh no, my face. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I'll clean it up right. Ah! Not again.
so big. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Annette, do something. Wait, not magic. I don't want you to burn my room down. I'm so terrible.
Well, that went awesome.
I wanted to
You should
clean
do this
up
more
for you, but I
often.
basically did the opposite.
No kidding. I guess it was my fault for getting you to clean up my mess. At any rate, you've made such a mess of my mess. Now I feel motivated to clean my own room. So that's kind of a positive outcome.
I guess that's one way to think of it.
You know, I really do admire your can-do attitude.
Even if you're a complete cock-up.
Although it might be, too much. You don't want to overextend yourself. For one thing, you'll tire yourself out. Based on what I just saw, you might even get hurt.
Ouch.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I've been like this my whole life. I've never wanted to let anyone down. My parents, my uncle. So I always try to give it my all. And it's taken me this far at least.
I guess so. But going all out to please others, never thinking of yourself, that's no way to live.
That's a fun one. Hey, oh crap, what's her name? Abby Trott, the actor for Annette, said the line, I tried to clean for you, but I basically ended up doing the opposite. You can tell she was like mumbling into her. It was like, oh, it was just like the way she said it provided such a visceral image that the facial animation doesn't really capture. Oh, so much fun. Catherine and Shamir. That support chain is really fun, even though it only goes to B. I wish we had an A for it.
They didn't have a chance. Before long, all of the church's enemies will have been destroyed.
Keep that energy up.
Love worshipping the church. Or is it just Rhea?
Probably way more
Lady
close to that.
Rhea.
Ooh.
The only one of the knights who doesn't address her with the proper respect.
It's
not just that I worship Lady Rhea. I respect her, admire her, revere her.
Love her?
I don't get the Ceros religion. Or Rhea.
Shamir, if you were anyone else, I would cut you down for saying that. She saved your life.
She did, and that's why I fight for her. Doesn't mean I worship her.
You never change. You're so stubborn.
You're the stubborn one. When we're on missions related to Rhea, it's like you're wearing blinders. Now that she's been rescued, your carelessness is probably just going to get you killed.
I don't plan on getting killed. And it's not that I'm wearing blinders. I'm just focused. I've devoted my heart to Lady Rhea. She's the reason I wield my sword.
As long as you don't get killed or cause me any trouble, I don't really care.
Ouch.
So my death would cause you trouble?
That's not what I meant.
But it probably would.
Let's give it a rest. There's no point in arguing.
Fine. But I want you to know something. It's not easy to put your life in the hands of someone who doesn't share your beliefs.
I understand. I think we can both agree on that.
Well, it's a shame we had to end on that one and not one of the sweeter later on ones, but that's a super cool one as well. Their whole support chain is just like liquid gold, I tell you. Flows just perfectly. Look happy with 74 max health. Hells yeah, and of course, closing it off, the classic Dorothy and Petra to A. Take it away, my friends.
Oh, Petra, are you researching something?
No! Yes.
I am investigating useful fighting techniques.
You're always trying
Going
to
to need
become
them.
a better fighter. Personally, I'm sick of all the battles.
You are feeling sick about battle? Oh, I understand. Yes, I am also wishing for this war to finish quickly.
Sooner the better. I don't even remember the last time I washed my hair.
Yes, it is hard to be braiding your hair when it is damaged from lack of care.
Speaking of, you know, I don't think I've seen many braids like yours, Petra. I assume it's a hairstyle from Bridget? May I take a closer look?
May I draw some pictures as well?
Okay. This style of braiding has been passed down through my family.
How very elaborate. That must take a long time to do.
Your words are delighting me. Braiding it does take up a great amount of time every day.
Every day? Now I suppose you couldn't sleep with your hair like that, could you? When there's time,
Not easily.
do you think you could teach me? It would be fun to match you every now and then.
You need to like suspend yourself on like scaffolding such that your head wouldn't touch anything.
And once I learn how, I can help you with your hair. What do you think?
I am really liking that idea. It would give me great happiness to have our hair match.
I'd like it too.
Dorothea, before I had confusion. I thought you were being overly familiar.
To be fair, she kind of was.
But then I gained understanding. Now I am knowing that is how you show your kindness.
and I have much gratitude for that. It is impossible to be imagining life without you. You are precious to me.
Petra, what a lovely thing to say.
Right?
I might just cry.
If you will be crying, you can have my... my shoulder.
For your crying.
Oh, I was just playing around. But if I ever do need a good cry, I do hope you'll lend me your shoulder.
My shoulder will always be available for you.
Oh, yeah? So I don't even make a reservation or anything?
A reservation? For my shoulder?
Oh, I just meant... You know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is that I enjoy spending time with you. It makes me stop worrying about marriage and status.
Wonder why that is.
If that is the truth, then will you be coming to Bridget with me?
Huh?
When this war is finished, I am wishing for you to be seeing my homeland.
You are? Oh my. I'd love to, Petra. As soon as the fighting is done, I'd like nothing more than to see Bridget with you.
Yay! Ah, it's so sweet! Now kiss! One of the things I really like about that chain is Petra is very earnest in her approach to their relationship from the get-go. And Dorothea is as well, in a way that feels insincere early on. And Petra calls it out saying, I thought you were being overly familiar when you were like, you know, offering to sing me lullabies and massage me. And then she says, but I realize now that's just how you show love and everything. And I think, to a point, yeah, but my feeling also is that Dorothea was maybe a little bit caught up because she's, you know, her history is stage plays and stuff, so the idea of this princess from afar who comes in, and then the idea of like getting to coddle's not the right word, but to effusively support this sort of person who's in some ways kind of an underdog in this new world. She takes that like character role because that's what she's used to, and so she's kind of insincere with Petra early on. Not that she doesn't actually care about her, but the way she goes about it is sort of skin deep. Whereas later, like you can tell drastically the change in the C support and the A support. In the C support, she's like, "Hi, Petra." That's like the energy she comes into it with. Whereas in the A support, she's just talking to her like any old friend. Well, I mean, with the romantic undertone, but she's not talking to her like she's weird. Is my point, and she very much is in the C support. And so for Dorothea to kind of calm that down and treat her more normally, and that's when they get closer, is very sweet. And of course for Petra to, in spite of Dorothea acting kind of weird, is good-hearted herself enough to know that, you know, Dorothea means well and all. And to never really kind of, I don't think she ever really, like I wouldn't really say she ever sort of balks at Dorothea's advances. She's a little overwhelmed, but kind of keeps that to herself. But even from the C support, right, she's like, she seems to appreciate it, and that's very sweet also. Because I think they could very easily have gone the route of making it like the conflict comes from Petra thinks Dorothea is lying, and I don't think that would have been right for either of their characters. Like she thinks she's trying to butter her up or something. But that would have been really weird, so I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm glad Petra is just perceptive enough to see, yeah, she's being really nice. And it's not that there isn't conflict still there. The conflict comes that they're communicating in very different ways. To say nothing about the language barrier. I mean, I meant more that Petra's it's just speaking a bit more directly to her. She's like, I'm not tired, you don't need to massage me, kind of thing, you know what I mean? Anyway, I just love that support chain so much, and I love them together. And that was the final support! So, you know, really, I probably should have the system sounds like a bit lower, like similar volume to sound effects. This whole playthrough I've had them quieter than, or like at max volume, and it feels like the has been louder than like the music and the dialogue sometimes when you go into battle, so I'm just gonna turn both of these down a little. But I'm keeping the music high for this final battle, which we are now advancing upon, so draw arms all! Hold your heads high! Forth, and fear no darkness! Let's hopefully not die too bad. For the freedom of Fodlan! That's all for now. Next video on the channel is going to be some more Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, where we're carrying on the investigation for day 2 of our case. Well, it's sort of technically a different case, but it's the same pool of evidence and same crime scene. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! But seriously, I could do with the end of this room now. Oh my goodness, this is how much help they have on 9. This is just like the bit in Pandora's Labyrinth. Or no, sorry, the bit in Pandora's Labyrinth part of Medusa's base. Where it's just like this massive horde of enemies. You have to deal with this cherubim, which does no damage.